Three, two, one, roll the footage. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Simon Severino, your host. And today we have somebody who has become a mogul in the social media marketing world. Through her creative initiative and memorable moments, she has completely changed how influencers, social media, and the overall culture is perceived. We will dive deep into no more schmoozing, the new way of business, toxic relationships in business, how to set boundaries, and why positive people attract positive people. Welcome, everybody, Lindsey Heppner.
Thank you. Very nice
Lindsey,
to be on.
welcome. What are you currently creating?
Currently creating, we are building out with the team a few ideas for courses, business courses on, marketing yourself and how to brand yourself as a business. I think that's where everything's going right now. People are starting to be a little bit more by themselves and honing in on their own, platforms. And I think it's a really, really good time if you want to start a business, to be your brand before people see your brand. So I think that having having a sense of relatability in the space is going to attract more customers, and and whatever you, I guess, project and you show to the world what you want them to purchase from you. I think it's just a great way to build a sense of community and your tribe, and get really loyal consumer.
How big is your team, and is it remote or are they in a headquarter?
We are all remote. I've always pushed for that, even before the pandemic. We've always had an office, but for me, um, I'm very creative, so I need to be by myself. Or if I'm at an office, I tend to talk a lot, even though I'm the boss. So, I think this time has really shown like we're so much more productive alone. But I mean, I love the sense of community. I love my team. Right now, we're a team of 7 and growing. And I feel like we've always been like a small team, but we've been very noisy. I'm very, very particular on who I work with. And I just want someone who comes on as an employee that really loves what they do, because I'm super passionate and I just thrive around people that are super passionate about what they do. So we're small, but we do a lot of things. We do a lot of things.
And I saw your CEO tip, no more schmoozing. And I was, what? Why no more schmoozing? What's going on?
Well, I've been kind of saying that because, I've always had a sales team around me. So I've never had to really be the salesperson. And I think that I've always kind of pushed away from that because of the fact that I'm like, oh, I can't be schmoozy. I'm too honest. I'm going to ruin the deal. But I feel like more than ever, even after the pandemic and us being alone, people have wanted to connect better and have this honesty and transparency. And I think that's really what I'm good at, is like just being really, really honest. So I've noticed that clients really gravitate towards that. And that's what I've been doing. And I think that like that's the new sales, is like they don't want to hear all the stuff that you're like fluffing about and like things that you can't actually execute, or say you can over deliver but then like, well, over promise and under deliver. So I think that it's really been a win-win for me, because the fact that I've seen through the last 12 months that you can be yourself and you don't have to have this pitchy sales thing anymore.
I think honesty is maybe one of the most transformative things for me in the last years. It's 15 years that we don't have a TV at home. So we
Mhm.
don't watch TV. But as YouTube came up, I immediately fell in love with YouTube and I'm on YouTube right now, and every day I watch something on YouTube because it's real. And even
Mhm.
if it's not as curated as Netflix, but it's real, and that gives me
Yeah.
so much more. There is soul in there. So I resonate with this honesty, and I think that's what we all right now crave for, right? Real connection and real stuff.
Yeah, I feel like, and that's the only way I want to do business, you know. I don't really have time to, be someone else that I'm not. And I've gravitated towards now people that are honest and good people. And it's really been amazing because it's amplified my business in a better way too. Like I'm not stressed out. I actually enjoy Mondays. There's just so many benefits when it comes to just being honest with yourself and honest with your clients and honest with your team and not having to pretend all the time.
Which brings us to toxic relationships in business. I am somebody who is very late in realizing toxic relationships and then acting accordingly. How can we see them early? How do we spot them in the first place?
Well, I think not until recently have I really realized, how many toxic people were in my life. And now it's so easy to spot them. I think what happens first is your gut. When your body is like, red flag, red flag. I mean, that's like the first warning sign that someone's not good in your life. When you're like questioning, should I be around this person? Should I do this? Should I move forward? I think we always just push down that like your little self and be like, no, we're good. Like, I got this. But I think that first initiative intuition is always right. And I don't think we listen to it enough. And for me, like in the business that I'm in, there's a lot of money circulating, and a lot of people like push that down because it's like, oh, there's money involved. We need to focus on the money part. And for me, I've learned I don't want to focus on that anymore. I want to focus on what's good for me. And, I had Lyme disease. So health is a really, really important thing for me. And when you get that ill, you realize that health is more important than money every time. You can't even do business, do anything if your health is off. So for me, like it's not even about money for business. It's about just being happy, supporting my team, making my clients happy. And I only want to have people around me that actually give me good energy at all times. And money is an energy as well. So if you're getting good energy from someone and they're the one that's supporting your business, that's the kind of energy I want.
So we just being more conscious of our bodily reaction, and we feel it when we know it. And then when we know it, how to set boundaries the right way.
hmm Boundaries are so huge because I think that for so long I was upset when people wouldn't respond to me or do things that I needed them to do. And the problem is like I didn't have boundaries on myself. So I looked at that as like, oh, you're inconsiderate to my needs. But those people actually were being considerate to their needs. So
Mhm.
I've learned like now that I'm only going to put my energy towards people who deserve it, and I'm going to give people boundaries because I am also a human. I can't take on everyone's, needs, and I'm not a superhero. So it's just been a really, really great feeling to know that like every day I can wake up and be like, oh, like I don't have to do that. I don't have to people please that person. Like I've been spending so much more time with the people I really care about and not extra time with people that don't deserve my time.
Powerful. And so many people right now listening, they hopefully hear this and allow themselves also to take more care and to say, hey, I'm not a superhero. I have needs. I have to take care of myself. Especially many parents and people who are caring for other people right now. And
Exactly.
and then one thing that I found interesting, you say positive people attract positive people. Why is that?
I think whatever energy you give out, people want to accept it or they don't, you know? Like if you're a low frequency type of person, you usually attract low frequency type of people because you guys can feel the same energy and you like want that same feeling. When you're a high frequency type of person, it almost feels like low frequency people bounce off of you. You know what I mean? Like you just don't align. And good people tend to really just want to enjoy more goodness. And people that have like these toxic vibes and bad energy stay away from that because they're so fearful to show their true self. You know, like when someone's pretending to be a good person and you're around a really good person, it's hard to keep that persona up because you're so fearful that you know what's going to come out is the real you. So I think that good people do attract good people because good people want to be around that energy.
Where do you take your inspiration from? Are there particular books or podcasts that inspire you?
I am on a daily ritual of listening to Gary Vee in the morning. And the reason why I listen to Gary is because he's very much like I can relate to him because he's no bullshit, you know, like he's not trying to say what you want to hear. He's just trying to say what he thinks is right, you know? And I really really respect him for just like going down his own path and not having to like listen to the naysayers. And I really value that. I love that he is just honest and just says it how it is, you know? And a lot of people either like it or don't, but I can resonate with that. Books. I was recently listening to Greenlight by Matthew McConaughey. I was listening on audio because I love his voice. He's got such an amazing voice. So I didn't want to read it, I wanted to listen to it. And it was just such a cool book and positive. And, you know, he's been through a lot and it's been really cool to like hear his journey. But I just like listening to people that are motivating and inspiring. And in 2014, when I got into a car accident, you know, I was really, really depressed before I got in that car accident. And I remember being on TED Talks because, at that time, like podcasts weren't really the thing. So I would go on YouTube and watch TED Talks and just be inspired by random people that I didn't know. But it helped me get out of my depression every morning. So I think it's really, really important to have someone good in your ear. And that also is makes sense to like the people you surround yourself with, you know, like if people are always putting you down or making you feel like you can't do things, you know, those aren't really the best people to be around.
Absolutely. What are you excited about looking forward with your projects?
um I just I love when new brands come through the door. Like I love making unsexy things sexy. That's my favorite part about our business is we have a lot of random businesses coming through, products that just want to sit at the cool table, I guess. And I just love doing that for them because when I was younger, I was bullied in middle school and in high school. So just being able to have projects where like I have my clients feel like they're going to sit at the cool kids table is just a really great feeling to help them get there.
Sit at the cool kids table. I like it. And and where can people find you? Where do you hang out?
Um, I don't really hang out online, but I've been having to lately because we're building out courses for business. But you can find me on Linz Heppner, Linz Heppner, Heppner, and I've now currently been turned into an artist. So I
Mm.
I I paint artwork for your house.
Oh,
Um, Yes. And then Vamped the business, VAMPPED.com is our website and Vamped our Instagram.
and I guess Gary Vee is telling you every day in the morning to do it as an NFT.
Yes, he is. I feel like it's so funny. I really, really need to get into that world. And I haven't really scratched the surface of it, but every other conversation he's having on his podcast is about NFT. And I'm like, I just want to get to the part where you're telling me I need to be a better human. Yeah. I
And how do you do your daily ritual? You hear his podcast or YouTube or else or read the books?
I walk my dog and listen to his podcast. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. He has been a true inspiration also for me and for many listening right now, because he was one of the first who, yeah, to just show up every day and tell it as it is, right?
I love that. Yes, he showed up for himself, and I think that's a battle that a lot of people don't want to do. They don't think it's worth it, and I 100% think it's worth to show up for yourself every day. Who else is going to, Like at the end of the day, you have basically yourself. So,
And today we are all having him as the inspirational figure. But to all listeners out there who are in the first year of their podcast or are considering starting their podcast for the first time or blogging for the first time and are afraid, hey, but who is going to listen? Gary Vee, he was having his first wine show, I guess, on YouTube, and he was
yeah.
going live every day, and nobody was watching. Like everybody's starting that way. He just didn't stop showing up. That's it.
And that's the thing I think people get so discouraged with. It's like they need an audience, they need to feel liked, they need to feel loved. And we're human, so of course that is important to all of us, to feel acknowledged and not seen, I guess, right? But there's just a fire that I see in him that I see in myself. Like I've always been the black sheep in everything I've done. So I'm okay with it, And like once you accept that that is your your label, it kind of all of that just goes away. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to prove to anyone who I am. I love who I am. So it's like you either have me in your life and I'll be a good person to you, or you don't have me in your life and you're missing out.
I guess that's my spirit animal, the black sheep. It can be even a superpower, It's your angle. It's
Totally. I run the other way when everyone's told to run one way, I'll definitely run the other way. I just don't know how to follow at all.
Lindsey, thank you so much for sharing so generously with us your journey, your wisdom. Keep rolling. Please come back soon.
Oh, thank you.
Avoid trying to do thousands of things that doesn't work. We have 274 templates for your business success. Reach your ambitious goals with one-on-one sprint coach. We double your revenue in 90 days.